Alexa, you have amazing singing skills.
I don't know about that.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Japanese from Zero. I'm George Trombley, and we are going to be continuing to go through Japanese from Zero book 4. We are on lesson 10. We are continuing through the kunaru explanation that we were doing earlier. We've already talked about how to use it with nouns and na adjectives and e adjectives, and now we're going to talk about the aforementioned tainai form. And remember, you can learn all of this also on fromzero.com. The tainai form. What is the tainai form? It's something I've never said before. It's a brand new concept, a brand new name. It's just it's the tai forms and the nai forms, right? And that nai form could be ikanai, right? Ikanai, won't go, or ikenai, I can't go. It's still the nai form, okay? And tai form is just want to do, okay? Oh, and by the way, the nai form could also be ikitakunai, don't want to go. Okay, so it's anything ending in a nai and anything ending in a tai. That's what we're going to call the tai-nai forms. And just for transparency, tai-nai also means inside the body for some reason. I'll look that up. Tai-nai, that's your word of the day. Tai-nai. For example, tai-nai doke means your internal body clock. Tai-nai doke. I thought about that right now. Mine's always messed up. Nai becomes nakunaru. We just drop the E and say nakunaru. Tai becomes takunaru. Really easy, right? Nakunaru and takunaru. All right, here we go. Naru just means something changes. If you keep that simple logic in your head, it's going to help you. Naru means to become something. The reason why I'm saying this right now is because for some reason when you put it into verbs, people lose their mind. It's like, it's a little bit weird. But really just like if something ends in a naru form, it means there's a change that's going to occur. That means when you translate it to English, you have to somehow represent that, okay? All right, let's look a little bit about how it's done. So we've got oyogitai, want to swim, right? Want to swim. If you want to swim, you can become to want to swim. If you say oyogitaku naru, it means will want to swim. Maybe you didn't, but you will become to want to swim. And this will make more sense in sentences in a second, okay? Oyoganai, won't swim. Oyoganakunaru, will end up not swimming, okay? In the future. Oyogenai, can't swim. That's a current state, oyogenai, I am unable to swim. Oyoge nakunaru, that means you'll no longer be able to swim. So oyoge nakunaru means it will make it so that I can't swim. I don't know what the situation might be, but let's say it's a really hot day outside and you don't want to get sunburned, so you think I'm going to wear my shirt. But what's the result of wearing my long sleeve shirt? Oyoge nakunaru, I'll no longer be able to swim if I'm wearing my shirt, right? So you would say something like, shatsu o kiru to oyoge nakunaru. If I wear my shirt, shatsu o kiru to, I won't be able to swim. That's what that means, okay? Oyogitaku nai, I don't want to swim. And, you don't want to swim. It's current state. Oyogitaku nakunaru, you're not there yet. You want to swim now, but you will become not wanting to swim, right? I will end up not wanting to swim, okay? All right, so let's look at some bigger things here. So we got ikitai, ikitaku naru. You will want to do it. You will become to want to do it. Mitai, want to see it. That's my current state. I want to see it. Mitaku naru, will want to see it. Will become to want to see it, right? Shitai, want to do. Shitaku naru, will want to do, right? I will become want to do. So for example, now just understand how that's made and let's look at it. We have this sushi. Maybe you weren't hungry. Maybe you weren't hungry at all. And you look at this and you say, damn, 美味しそうだね。わあ、見てこの寿司。わあ、お腹がそんなに空いてないけど、I'm not really that hungry, but I looked at that sushi. お寿司が食べたくなりました。What does that translate to? In English, it's not I became to want to eat sushi, which is the direct translation. Now I want to eat sushi. When we say, oh, now I want to eat sushi, Oh, I want to eat sushi now. That means I didn't want to for whatever reason, but now I do. It shows the state changed. It went from wasn't really interested in eating or I didn't want to eat, but now 食べたくなった. I've become to want to eat. I want to eat. Now I want to eat. 食べたくなった. Okay? This is why the verbs are a little bit more difficult because it's not a direct saying I want to become something, okay? All right. What about this one? ペットがいない方が楽だけど Okay. This is our information to set up the next sentence. ペットがいない方が楽だけど What does that mean? While you're thinking about that, yes, Nanj, 見たくなる is extremely useful. So let's say, for example, this is where the situation would be. You watch the preview to a movie and you, oh my God, 見たくなる makes me want to see it. 見たくなる means makes me want to see it. That's what you would translate to. Makes me want to see it. Right? それを見ると見たくなるよ. If you see that, it's going to make you want to see it. それを見ると, if you watch that preview, 見たくなるよ, you're going to end up wanting to see it. Okay? So P2M says, it's easier to not have pets. ペットがいない方が楽. Yeah, it's easier not having pets. But 時々犬が飼いたくなります. What's a decent translation for that? Again, the verbs are a little bit tricky because this is the thing you have to keep in your brain, okay? When you're going from Japanese to English and English to Japanese, you have to keep both sides of that equation natural sounding. You can't have Japanized English. You can't directly translate this with the grammatical parts. That's going to sound bad. So what makes sense? Like, think about it. What can we say after this? I mean, not having pets is easier, but sometimes 飼いたくなります. Sometimes I feel like having a dog. Even though we didn't say feel. Sometimes I want to raise a dog. It's just that. Sometimes I feel like that's probably the best thing, right? Because you could have just said, 時々犬が飼いたいです, but that would just be a little bit unnatural. 飼いたくなります. Sometimes something makes me want, right, to raise a dog. 飼いたい, to want to raise, okay? Okay, I'm not sure why eating the dog is a thing. Wow. That would be interesting. Maybe you could say, 犬を食べるのは良くないけど, eating a dog isn't a good thing. 時々食べたくなります. But sometimes I feel like I want to eat one. Sometimes I want to eat one. Yeah. Sometimes I get the craving for eating one. 食べたくなります. I get the craving. I would feel like that would be a good translation too. Like, because you become to want to eat. That's a craving, right? Right? Yes, this is Japanese from Zero, Book 4 for the purple background. Yes. Good question. All right. Moving on. All right. 海で泳ぐのが怖いけど. What's that mean, guys? 海で泳ぐのが怖いけど. Remember, when you have this kedo as a but, there's something going to be opposite of this. This is the thing, but this, right? Swimming in the ocean is scary, but that's it. Perfect. You got it. Swimming in the ocean is scary, but now, this is where you get good in Japanese. You start thinking what could come next. There's only a limited amount of things that make sense here as human beings. And in this grammar, you already know what the grammar is going to be. Takunarimasu, right? If you say but, there's an expectation after the but that something's going to contradict or override the fear of you going in the ocean. So, 海で泳ぐのが怖いけど, it's scary to swim in the ocean, but I'm not scared. That would be a good one. That's a possibility. But when I wear my floaties, it's not scary at all. But sometimes, I don't even know what it is. I haven't looked. I don't remember. Maybe it's, but sometimes I want to swim in the ocean using oyogitaku narimasu. Okay, let's look. I'm afraid to swim in the ocean. That's a good translation too. We're talking about, remember, he's talking about himself. Umi de oyogu no ga kowai kedo. It could be in general. If this was like a TV announcer and she was like showing a panorama of the ocean, she says,
海で泳ぐのが怖いけど。
that is like, swimming in the ocean is scary in general. But if I just said, 海で泳ぐのが怖いけど, that's me. I'm afraid to swim in the ocean. But if you know enough Japanese, what happens to your brain when you get a leap in your comprehension is when you realize, if you understand the conversation topic itself, your brain goes narrow, 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 and it does a super search for things in that category instead of, I didn't understand anything that was said, therefore I'm going to search my entire vocabulary of Japanese. We're only going to do, related to swimming probably here. こんなに天気が暑いとき、泳ぎたくなります。海で泳ぐのが怖いけど、こんなに天気が暑いとき、泳ぎたくなります。It makes me want to swim when the weather is this hot. There's nothing else he would have said after that wasn't related to swimming. I promise you. Right? He wouldn't have said, man, swimming in the ocean is scary, but I really want a hot dog. He wouldn't have said that. Swimming in the ocean is scary, but I think we should break up. Swimming in the ocean is scary, but I really want to recommend the novel that George wrote. Whatever, right? It would be an unexpected thing. And if my wife said something to me like that, I would literally question her. Like, why? What's the relation to that? Why would you say that? Even in English, it doesn't make sense to come up with this. That's what's called, I believe, a non sequitur. I think, Alexa, what is a non sequitur?
Non sequitur is usually defined as an inference or a conclusion that does not follow from the premises. For more, ask me to give you more
Alexa,
definitions.
Stop. Yeah, it doesn't follow what you expect. Dogs are great, but raising them is a lot of work, so I'm not going to get one. I don't have a lot of money, but I will spend money on this type of a Pokemon because it's made out of gold. There's expectations when you set the beginning of a sentence. When you have a kedo, a kara, a node, there's only a certain amount of acceptable input after that. And if you keep that in your brain, Japanese is not hard. Not super hard. Okay. All right, here we go. Wait, let me just do this. I think kedo can be in the middle of a sentence, but demo has to be at the beginning. Yes. That is it. Kedo is how you link sentences together. Okay. And demo. Now, demo only means but. We have a lesson on kedo, I don't know where. And you get to learn that kedo sometimes isn't but. I have a video on it, is when kedo doesn't mean but. Okay. And some Japanese guy just did the exact same video with the exact same name. Damn it. Taking my ideas. All right. Sometimes kedo just introduced background information. Like, 友達の家に行きたいんだけど, so I want to go to my friend's house, but that's a but. But if I say, 友達がね、アメリカ人だけど, my friend's an American, there's no but. 友達がアメリカ人なんだけど, この間彼と話してて, my friend's an American, but the other day I talked to him, doesn't make sense. So my friend's an American, that's what they're doing with the kedo there. It's background information providing. The kedo just marks background information. All right, now let's look at nai form. Same thing. You have your nai form, whether it's oyogenai or oyoganai, right? Whether it's I won't swim or I can't swim. Those are both nai forms. Or also ikitakunai, same thing. Ikanai, won't go. Will become not go. Minai, I don't watch. Will become don't watch. Shinai, don't do. Will become don't do. The state will change to that. All right, moving on. Now let's look at takunai. Takunai means don't want to go, right? We have the positive ones. Ikitai, want to go. Ikitaku naru, makes me want to go, right? Mitai, want to see. Mitaku naru, will want to see, makes me want to see, okay? Now, if we do the negatives, you got ikitaku nai, don't want to go. But for some reason, something changed me. Maybe I wanted to go, but now I don't want to go. Ikitaku naku naru. Now I won't want to go. And mitaku nai becomes mitaku naku naru. Okay? We'll end up not wanting to go. Same thing for all of anything that ends in nai. So can't do form is et nai, right? So nomenai, can't drink. But because I'm taking special medicine, nomenaku naru. I'm going to end up not being able to drink. I'm going to change from a state of being able to drink to not being able to drink. Taberarenai, can't eat it. That's my current state. Taberarenaku naru. If I eat something right now, later on, I won't be able to eat anymore. Okay? Don't forget the logic though. Naru just means become. So when we do these translations, keep that in your mind and change your English sentence into something that matches that. As your Japanese gets higher, you have to know how to switch the English to be natural. Vice versa too. Your goal is not to take every single word and every single grammar and directly translate it and hammer it into the sentence. It's how do I relay what the person is trying to say? So keep that in mind when we look at these, okay? Here we go. So using the negative tai form, okay? What does this mean in English? 怪我をしてから運動したくなくなりました。怪我をしてから運動したくなくなりました。Now, I've put the te form here in red. Don't think that it's shitakara. It's shitekara. The meaning is very different. Shitekara and shitakara sound the same, but they are different. What is the difference between shitekara and shitakara? You are close, good night, Oji, but you are wrong. It is not because I injured myself I'm not able to move. Although, I would take that. That's a decent enough translation. You can go a little bit more, though. Because I didn't do my hair, I won't be able to exercise as Z caliber. Okay. You're saying that because ke can also mean hair. That's funny. But if it was ke, then we have two particles. It would be ga and o. That would be weird, right? Ke ga o suru is the verb that we're talking. Ke ga suru. That's so funny. Okay. Tosen, I think is how you say your name, is shitakara is a cause, and shitekara is after doing. Yes. If this was kega o shitakara, it would be because I injured myself. But if you say kega o shitekara, it means after injuring myself. I wasn't able to exercise because I injured myself. Nope. I hurt myself, so I became unable. No, you guys are missing. Thank you. Davor. Yes. I don't want to work out anymore. After hurting myself, I no longer want to work out. No longer shows the change. Anymore shows the change. Right? Because you could just say, keiga o shite kara undo shitaku nai. You have to show the change. Shitaku naku narimashita. Shitaku naku, right? Is it a weird combination of kanji? Some of these kanji are blowing my mind, silly fella says. Yeah. Keiga is usually... No. Keiga has a kanji. This should be okay to read. You never, ever, ever will have a ga and an o particle like that. Ever. So it has to be that the object of the verb is keiga. And by the way, what you just did wasn't bad. I laughed at it because it's funny. But it's not. It's like, yeah, K means hair. And your brain searched for what you knew. Right? But think about the logic of it. I don't want to exercise because something to do with my hair doesn't make logic sense. It's not a logical sentence. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense. When I do the simultaneous interpreting, that's all my brain is doing. Finding the connection. What did the guy say? And then you become literally like a predictive AI and you guess they're going this direction. And all you're doing as an interpreter is waiting for the confirmation. I don't know if you can learn it, but if you're aware of it, I think it helps, right? You hear like a, 今日は雨だから. If someone said, 今日は雨だから, tell me, what comes after that? There's only a few things that can come after that. 今日は雨だから, because it's raining today, because it's rained today, what? I don't think we should go. We should bring an umbrella. We're going to get wet. It's going to be cold. There's only so many things that come after that. So in my brain, I'm just waiting for 今日は雨だから, casa, done. The moment I hear the object casa, I would assume an umbrella is necessary. Casa が必要です. Casa を持って行った方がいいです. We should bring an umbrella. It's one of those two things at that point. She wouldn't say we don't need an umbrella because it's raining today. She might say we should buy an umbrella. It's not predictive, but it is predictive. If someone says 足が痛いから because my foot hurts, there's a limitation. If they said 足が痛いけど, now I know their foot hurts, but they're going to work through it. My foot hurts, but I'm okay. But I think I can walk it off. But because I have crutches, I'll be able to walk with you. But I called a taxi. No. That would be weird. But I called a taxi is not a good relation. That would be 足が痛いから because my foot hurts. I called the taxi. Does this make any sense? Does it make any sense? Let me know. I as always, I went on a side tangent. Using the can't do form this time. 引っ越ししたから友達と会えなくなりました. Yes, good night. That's why I split the PowerPoint from the verbs and the adjectives. The adjectives and the nouns are very easy. It's to become that thing. When you get to these verbs, it gets tricky to translate them. The shitaku naku naru is a weird translation in English. That's why you have to start thinking about the logic. That's how I split the books. Books 1, 2, and 3 are very concrete things that you can do. Like this takes this form. This is a very direct translation type style of thing. Everything in books 1, 2, and 3. From book 4, end of book 4 especially, up through book 5, it's things that don't translate well with that methodology anymore. It's where you have to really start using logic to do a good translation. Ronin Pixel says, I can't see my friends anymore since I moved. What's interesting is, when you say since I moved, it could be a reason and after I moved also as well. It kind of covers both. That's a very smart way of answering that. Because it could be 引っ越しをしてから since moving, or 引っ越しをしたから since I moved. Kind of good. Because I moved, I'm no longer able to meet my friend. Salami 120, very good. Angeli, because I moved, I can no longer meet my friends. Yep. Jaquavius, because I moved, I can't see my friends. Yeah, what happened? You used to be able to see them, now you can't. What's another word we can use in there to show a change? What's a good change word? You could say, I can no longer meet my friends. That would work. Anymore is a really good word for this. I can't see my friends anymore because I moved. I can no longer see my friends since I moved. Now I can't see my friends because I moved. You see what I'm saying? The English is a little bit flexible as long as we're relaying that the change has occurred. 背の高い人が前に座ったから見えなくなりました. I love you too, Shia. Is that your name? Shla? Is your name Shia or Shla? Hard to tell from here. Looks like it's Shla or Xla. 背の高い人が目の前に座ったから見えなくなりました. What's 背の高い人? Hito is a person. What kind of person are they? 背の高い, a tall person. Tosen says, because a tall person sat in front of me, I couldn't see anything. That would be 何も見えなかった. I couldn't see anything is 何も見えなかった. Here we are saying there was a change. I used to be able to see, but because someone sat in front of me, Nope. It's also not I couldn't see anything. That would be mienakatta. Mienakatta means I couldn't see. And nanimo means anything, right? Nanimo mienakatta. Remember, we're showing a change. You've got it. That simple logic. That's why I put that phrase up there, guys. You're showing a change. What happened? I could see, but now I no longer can. Because a tall person sat in front, I can no longer see. The situation has changed. I used to be able to, but now I can't. I can't see anymore is another good one. I can no longer see. All right, now let's go English first. Now I don't want to eat pizza. And if you say ima in this translation, I didn't say it in that tone. I don't want to eat pizza now. Now I don't want to eat pizza. Oof, my gosh, no. Don't use ima. This is what I'm trying to say, right? Just your instinct would be to use ima here, but really, I wanted to eat pizza, but now I don't want to eat pizza. So we're saying now I don't want to eat pizza. It's showing a change. It's not talking about your current state. It's trying to show what happened. Now I don't want to. Ben-san, ピザを食べたくなくなりました。Boom! ピザを食べたくなくなりました。These are tongue twisters. This is why you got to practice them. 食べたくなくなった。食べたくなくなった。ピザを食べたくなくなった。ピザを食べたくなくなりました。Okay? Very good. You want another one? Imagine the situation, okay? You had no interest in Japan. You didn't care about it at all. And then someone introduced you to Pokemon. And like you realize, oh my gosh, Pokemon comes from Japan. I really got into Pokemon. I love Pokemon. Everything I do is Pokemon. That's all I do. Now I want to know more about Japan. Now I do want to know more. Yeah. I went from a state of not really wanting to know, but now I want to know. What is that? How do you say about Japan? It's taught in this book, in this course on From Zero and in the books about Japan. How do you say that? Could you use imasara? No. Imasara means it's too late. Imasara. コンピューター、今更は英語で何と言いますか？
今更を英語で言うと now more.
Now more. I don't feel like that's the right translation. If you said 今更に, that would be now more. 日本のことを知りたくなった. What? Yes, very good job. Good night, Oji. 日本のことをもっと. Oh, you didn't have the motto in there. I apologize. もっと means more. もっと知りたくなりました。日本をわかなりました? No. All right. So look what happened here. 日本のこと means about Japan. That is our object marker. So about Japan. What about it? もっと知りたくなりました. Now I want to know more about Japan. Very good. All right. Now I can't drink coffee because I'm having a baby. You see how now might be weird here? You could say, 今はコーヒーは飲めないです. You could do that. But we don't want to do that right now. Don't use 今. I can't drink coffee anymore. That would be a better translation for it. I can't drink coffee anymore because I'm having a baby in my stomach. Okay. This is a weird translation. It's because I have a baby in my stomach is what the Japanese is saying. That's why I can no longer drink coffee. So say that. This is a tough one. I probably should have readjusted this to say, I can't drink coffee anymore because there's a baby in my stomach. That's what that is. I can't drink coffee anymore because there's a baby in my stomach. What does that mean? I will take the traditional waiting for you to answer, drink. This This show is sponsored by LaCroix. LaCroix, the best Diet Coke that isn't Diet Coke. Don't eat babies. Yes, don't eat babies. Shoutilo says, everybody here is good. I'm only in book 1. But Shoutilo, I think you should be here. You should be here. If you're only in book 1, be here. Watch these. There's a lot of learning you could do in here. Do you remember in the very first video, I said there's 10,000 things to learn and there's a bunch of ways to learn? There are over 10,000 things to learn. Okay, and that's not meant to scare you. That's just meant to, let you know, hey, there's a lot you're going to have to learn. So you know what? The order doesn't really matter. If you learn some weird advanced stuff tomorrow and then you learn how to say it's a dog today, it's okay. It's not a problem because you need to know them anyway. And the order can be different. The order can be different. You can learn this advanced concept right now, and then as you're learning the basic stuff, you go, oh, that's where this comes from. Oh, I can see how that's going to tie to this now. And then, you know what's really fun? You look at this now and you feel like, oh my God, this is too hard. But then in a few months after you've been through more information, you go, oh my God, this is so easy. I don't know why I thought this was hard. This is not very hard. This is N5. It's the lowest level of the Japanese language proficiency test, I think. Okay, let me see some of these answers. 妊娠してコーヒーを飲めなくなりました. Okay. I got pregnant and I can no longer drink any coffee. Yeah. It's pretty good. 妊娠して is a good way to do it. But we're saying I have a baby in my stomach. Because I got a baby in my stomach, I can no longer drink coffee. Criterion Relic says, I only started 3 days ago. I'm learning new stuff. Yeah. Dude, there is so much. There's so much to learn. So much. But it's so fun. This is the most amazing puzzle your brain will ever get. It's amazingly fun. All right. I'm gonna pull the plug on this one. You guys aren't getting it. You aren't completely getting it because of the way I wrote that sentence. It's my fault. I blame myself here. お腹に赤ちゃんがいるから because there's a baby in my stomach. 妊娠してるから would have also been good, or 妊娠して から after getting pregnant. 妊娠して being the reason because I'm pregnant. All of those would have worked. コーヒーが飲めなくなりました. I became unable to drink coffee. I can't drink coffee anymore. Okay. Let's do some real life usage. By the way, what I do is I look for this form in Twitter and then I find ones that I think are good examples of this usage. So what does this mean? 黒いペンかすれて書けなくなりました. Now you might not know かすれる. I chose this one because I like the word かすれる. It means to become hoarse. Like your voice becomes hoarse. Okay? But that's not what it means here. But you can imagine that helps, right? You run out of voice with かすれる. 黒いペンかすれて書けなくなりました. And also, I want to remind you that the back of the sentence can help you determine what the front of the sentence says. We know that a te form can be used as the reason. Whatever that first part is, it's the reason. Something about the black pen, what about it? The result of that, whatever that is kake naku narimashita. It became unable to write. It can't write anymore because what? What could possibly happen to the black pen to make it not be able to write? Now, in this case, what I would do is I would go to jisho.org, or I'd open up that app, Japanese. It's an app called Japanese on the iPhone. I don't know what dictionaries there are in Android. You can tell me in the comments. And I would look up kasureru, to get blurred, to get hoarse, to get husky, to graze, to scrape, to touch. So something happened with the pen. I think it just ran out of ink. It got blurry, which is weird. We don't say that, but that's what this is. Kuroi pen got kasurete. The black pen got blurry, and now, as a result, it can't write anymore. It can't write anymore is a good translation for that. All right, next one. 飛行機、欠航になったので、行けなくなりました. I chose this one because naru's used twice. I thought that was kind of fun. 飛行機、欠航になったので、行けなくなりました. The word you might not know here is 欠航. 欠航. It means cancels, cancellation. A canceled flight is 欠航. 飛行機、欠航になったので. Now, 飛行機 is translated as airplane. but it's also translated as flight. That's how we would say it in English. It makes more sense. Yes, silly fella, that is the app I'm talking about. It's just got a red icon. It's called Japanese. It's my favorite dictionary because you can add things to lists and then you can use it like an Anki style spaced repetition where you just go through the lists. So you can make lists right there. You're not going to deal with like a separate app and downloading lists and figuring out their software. It's just right there in that app. And I think it's a really good app. Okay. My plane got canceled, so I can't go anymore. Yeah, ikenaku narimashita. It's pretty good. Because my flight was canceled, I couldn't travel abroad. Okay, I don't know where you got the travel abroad. We don't know where he's going at all. But, I mean, it could be the case, but we don't really know. Now I can't go because my flight was canceled. Yeah, the now works there. I can't go now because my flight was canceled. Very good. I wasn't able to go because my flight canceled is not correct. Because that would be, 飛行機が欠航になったので、行けなかった。行けなかった is what that would be. I couldn't go. I wasn't able to go. You're showing the change. I can no longer go. 行けなくなりました. He hasn't gone yet. This is, yes, Adventures in Asia is my joke. I rebrand these. I don't think it's important to put a simple sentence like this. You don't need to know who wrote it on Twitter. But trust me, I don't modify these at all. I will spend sometimes 20, 30 minutes looking for a good tweet or a good post. Why do you change the name Twitter to X? That's the dumbest thing I've heard. Those of you in the future are like, what's Twitter? I only know it as X. Oh, you mean that website that used to be Twitter that doesn't exist anymore? That's my future prediction. X will be sold to someone else or rebranded back to Twitter. That's my, you heard it right here, guys. It is August 17th, 2023. Twitter will be Twitter again, either by being sold or it being rebranded back because he's going to realize it was a mistake. That's my current prediction. All right, more predictions before we end. Before I give you my predictions, you can check out what we do on fromzero.com or buy the books. I think the website's a good option, though. Okay, predictions. As it is August 17th. Will Trump go to jail? He has to. I say yes. He goes to jail. Yep. How long? Don't know. He goes to jail. Or there's a slight chance he flees. Just saying, he might flee. All right, guys. I think that's pretty much it.